gentlemen, our second speaker of the evening, Ndumiso Nkonzo, speaking on the title of Rising Giant Killers. Rising Giant Killers, please help me welcome Ndumiso Nkonzo.
Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen. Raising Giant Killers. If I can just ask, who would you consider as a mentor in your life? And I can give you a clue here that everybody has one. Sam, who would you consider as a mentor in your life? Everybody here. And Tony?
I think a teacher at high school, in fact two teachers, who sits the path on which I've walked ever since.
Yes. Most people consider parents and teachers as mentors in their lives. And I can say that my father was a mentor, was my mentor. I don't necessarily like to admit it, but I have a lot of qualities of my father in me. And I'm saying I don't like to admit it because my father was very strict and his hand was also very quick. And I'm a direct opposite of that. But when it comes to things that matter, I see my father in me. I am a frugal investor. I am dependable, and I find it very difficult to forgive. Why do you think parents are considered to be mentors? I think it's because human beings learn more by seeing and doing rather than being taught how to do things. Teaching is what would be considered as coaching and not necessarily mentoring. When you're teaching, when you're coaching, you are helping someone to meet their short-term goals. Whereas when you're mentoring, it's basically an evolving process and a long-term process. The evaluation that Ian is going to be doing tonight of my speech is what would be considered as being coaching. Whereas Will is my mentor in Toastmasters. Now, I don't remember a single day where I sat with my father where he taught me how to harden my heart. I told you that I find it very difficult to forgive. And I got that from him, but we never sat and he taught me that, son, this is how you do it. This is how you get your heart to be so strong that you don't necessarily want to forgive people. But what happened was, I used to watch him how he did things. I used to learn the way that he did things. He also instilled some values and some principles in me. For instance, he would say, son, imali akusonto yokudlala, meaning money is not to be wasted. Those are some of the values that instilled in me. So I learned what he was doing, but then at the same time he was also like instilling some values in me. Now a mentor supports, teaches and guides the mentee, whereas the mentee is supposed to listen and observe. And this is why you would find baby crabs walk sideways and not like every normal species that walks towards the front. And that is because of they observe. When they are born, they observe their mothers and fathers and everyone, all the other crabs around them. That, oh, this is how you walk. You actually walk sideways. You don't walk like a human being who walk towards the front. But I can just say that there is a guy who runs, there's a gentleman who runs Comrades Marathon. He runs marathons backwards. But I must also say that most of the time he's high. He's a German. He's a Rastafarian. So he's able to do it. He's ran, I think, 4 or 5 comrades now. All of them running backwards, not like forwards like most of us. Now, rich people, they do mentoring of their children intentionally. But I promise you, poor people also do it as well. It's just that they do it unintentionally. This is why it's so difficult to break the cycle of poverty, because you learn from what other people are doing. So, if I can just give 2 examples of people that have, rich people that have mentored and that have done very well with their sons, is you will have Jan Manton of PSG, and you have Raymond Ackerman of Pick and Pay. Now the problem with this kind of mentorship, where you learn directly from your father or from your parent, is that you tend to basically speak out of, you see the world through their window of the world. So for instance, you would find Trump Jr. When you follow him on Twitter, you can literally hear his father talking, whereas he's actually the one who's typing the tweets, but you could hear his father, Donald, talking. Now, the strategy that I found to be very useful is a strategy that Toastmasters follow, that of involving everyone in mentoring this one person. I must just say here that Paul and Jordan, they somehow sabotaged my speech. I prepared something for them today because I think Paul is doing what I'm about to illustrate very well, which is raising giant killers. So this is what Paul was going to get tonight. I was going to ask him to stand here, and I give him this because that's what he's doing with Jordan. He's raising a giant killer. And then Jordan was going to be this side. This is what's going to be for Jordan, in recognition of what him and his father are actually doing. Because what Paul is doing with Jordan is bringing him in these meetings. And I hope that this is what he does in his life in general as well, where he sits with his son, not necessarily telling him that, son, this is what you need to do, but actually showing him how it's done, inviting him into his business and show him how it's done. Now, this is what lions do in the wilderness. You find the lionesses mentoring the calves. Calves are born blind with no teeth, but just the potential, the lionesses, they recognize the potential that these calves have, and then they then teach them how to live by killing. So this is what also Toastmasters does. We recognize every person that walks through that door is recognized to be having this potential of public speaking. But at that point in time, we don't necessarily know whether this person is going to be able to speak. But we recognize that, and we mentor them, and we encourage them to be public speakers. Mr. Toastmaster.